In our first video exploring the gods and goddesses of the Mesopotamian pantheon, let's talk about the big guy, Anu. So, in researching Anu, I've dug up as much information that I could for a rather quick video. All of mine are rather just short, quick, to the point, off the hip. You guys know this by now. And if you're new here, welcome. So, just kind of digging through my notes. Should have put them in a better order, but we're just gonna go with it. So, Anu, or Anu is what he was called in Akkadian. His name in Sumerian was An. An meant high one. He mated with Ki and had Enlil. All of these things that I'm going to be talking about, by the way, are according to given stories. And one thing that you'll find in a lot of these tales and stories is that depending on the age and the date that they were written, stories can change a little bit over time. So you might find some things that overlap or some things that you're like, that's not quite right. But, Purple Monkey Dishwasher or playing the game Telephone, things change over time. So, don't knock me for it. But, feel free to drop stuff in the comments if you know of any different information and whatnot. Because the information on these gods and goddesses is a little bit limited. And like I said, there's stories all over the place with all sorts of different tablets and stuff. And there's just the majority of the information, honestly, has been lost over time due to vandalism and, old age, erosion, and all that stuff. So, we're just going with what we can find here. So, Anu was said to confirm the kingship of rulers, and the whole divine right thing that you find a lot in medieval Europe. The bosses and the leaders and the kings would appeal to Anu, saying, he gave me the right to be here. I spoke to Anu last night, and he conferred my kingship. That kind of stuff. Amongst all the other gods, his word is supreme. In later tales, he gave his rulership over to Enlil, who then eventually had to concede it to Marduk. But we'll get to that in the Marduk video. He's the son of Anshar and Kishar. His subtitle is Father of the Gods. He fathered Gatumdug, Baba Ningirsu, Adar, Enki, Enlil, Gira, Nana, and Nergal, according to one source. Those were his sons. His daughters were Ishtar, or Easter, Nanea, Nidapa, Ninisina, Ninkarak, Ninmug, Ninibru, Ninsumun, Nungal, and Nusku. He created the Lamashtu, Asag, and Sebetu to destroy humans when they got too noisy. You'll kind of notice this a lot with us humans making too much noise for their liking. Well, if you didn't like what noise we made, you shouldn't have made us in the first place. Am I right? So, his main temple, which was the Aeana temple, was in Uruk, and his other city that was kind of associated with him was Der, D-E-R. He was seen as very distant from human affairs. He's actually kind of seen as the most distant deity out there. Think of the CEO of a big business being at the very top floor, and to get to him, you gotta communicate and go with others. You'll actually find out later that Enlil was basically the only person, or the only deity, that even the other gods could speak to in order to get through to him, and Enlil would basically pass the message to him. Now think about this. Enlil is the god of the sky, right? And then Anu is, of course, above the sky, and because Anu's the heavens, right? So what do you got to go through? You got to go through the sky to get to the heavens. It's kind of allegorical, and, it's all symbolic and whatnot. So if I can find my spot, we'll continue. His animal was the bull, and his symbol is the crown, of course, because he's the very top, right? He was personified with the sky. He was called the one who contains the entire universe, because he's the way out there, and when you look into that night sky, you can see into the vastness, right? And that's what he is. He's associated with the North Ecliptic Pole, and constellations up there. I think that there was a constellation I should have written down here. But dig for it and let me know what it is in the comments, guys. Remember, it's a community here, right? Anu was only accessible through Enlil, like I said. In some tales, he made the universe. In others, he's helped by Enlil and Enki to make the universe. I believe also in one tale he was given he might have been given credit for the whole like divine battle and whatnot that created the Earth and whatever. Even though Enlil's credited with separating the Earth from the sky in an earlier myth, but we're going to get to that in the next video. So I mean, Anu is just seen as, you know, the overwatcher of everything, the guy that kind of calls the shots with other things because he's so far distant, and because he envelops and wraps around everything else, he does kind of have a rulership around everything else and an ability to kind of interfere where he needs to, but he always goes through other factors. Why? I mean, think about it. Let's say like a meteor comes through the atmosphere, right? Yeah, it comes from deep space, Anu. And then it has to interact with the firmament, which would be the ancient ones and whatnot, and then, you know, come into the atmosphere, which would be Enlil, and then smash the Earth or Ki. So you see all the different layers / deities / vibrational levels, whatever you want to call it, that it goes through. That's why Anu is just so far out there. Anu did have a personification as a person, but I wasn't able to get very good descriptions on that for you guys. But the main idea is that he's kind of the biggest cheese. You know, he was the firstborn from Anshar and Kishar, which were the protectors. They were seen as protector deities, and I'm probably going to get into Anshar and Kishar later. But I wanted to start with the big three, you know, that we find in the Necronomicon. So, yeah, that's my spiel on Anu. Let me know what you guys think about this and what you think this whole series is going to churn out. And, you know, you can give me some tips, questions, comments, complaints, concerns, issues about how to improve it as I go. I'm probably going to be making the other 2 videos tonight, even though I'm going to, you know, release these on the regular Tuesday, Thursday, Friday schedule. So you guys can look forward to that. They're, of course, all going to be premieres. If you just stumbled on this and a bunch of the videos are out, you can check out the Gods and Goddesses playlist. You can also check out my other playlist for general magic. How to work with the Simon Necronomicon. It's the Necronomicon playlist. My playlist on the theories of magic. My books playlist, and I have all 4 of my books above my head, which are Magical Theater, Guide to the Spheres and Beyond, Magical Mechanics, and Handy Sigil Magic. You can also check out my playlist on Tulpomancy that deals with psychological and metaphysical / magical Tulpomancy with egregores, tulpas, thought forms, and things like that. You can find a bunch of my information in the description, including my Facebook page, facebook.com/Magickology, and a link to my Amazon my Amazon author page, which will lead you to my 4 books. So, yeah, that's all my info. Let me know what you guys think about this as I keep making all of these videos. I've been really pumped lately. So, yeah, give me some feedback. Good hunting.